Hey guys, it's Vancouver Velocity Fan here. It's been a while since my last video, but I'm here today to discuss my retro track predictions for the brand new Mario Kart game that just got announced on the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm so excited for the Switch 2, but having a brand new Mario Kart game coming soon as well is just icing on the cake. I can't wait to see more about it in the Direct in April. So, before I get into what tracks I think /want to see, I think that there'll be 5 retro cups in the game, compared to the standard 4 we're used to. For now, I'm going to call it the Boomerang Cup, after one of my favourite cups from the Boosticles Pass. And I'm going to slot it in between the Banana Cup and the Leaf Cups, so it's kind of in the middle, because I feel that's a sensible place for it. Also, I decided to include at least 2 tracks per each game in the franchise, so from Super to Tour. Some of these tracks are ones that I think are likely, some of them, one in particular, are just ones I personally want. So let's start! Starting off the Shell Cup, we have Wii U Water Park. It's not the most exciting track, but it works as the first track. There's also been a pattern, where the first retro of the last 2 home console games is the second track of the Mushroom Cup from 2 games ago. In Wii, we had GCN Peach Beach, and in 8 Deluxe, we have Wii Moo Moo Meadows. Maybe this pattern will continue here, and we'll see Wii U Water Park. Who knows? Next, I think we'll see GCN Mushroom Bridge. It's a simple track, and it was brought back in Tour, but not brought back in the Boosticles Pass. And I think it works well in the Shell Cup, despite being in the DS's Leap Cup. It's not the most complex track, but it's a really underrated, fun, just traffic track. The traffic itself would provide a step up in difficulty over Water Park. Following this, I think 3DS Shy Guy Bazaar will be next. It's a very interesting track thematically, and I think it'll look great in HD. And again, just like Mushroom Bridge, it was brought back in Tour, but not the Boosticles Pass. In fact, it's only been remade once, so it's not like it's been remade 5 times, so that's just another reason to include it. Ending off the Shell Cup is a track that's never been remade before, and it's of course Wii Toad's Factory. How has this track not been remade yet? It's so good and has to be in this new game. Despite being a great track, it's still simple, so that's why it's in the Shell Cup. Starting off the Banana Cup is, rather suitably, N64 DK's Jungle Parkway. It's been a while since we've last seen this one. It's been gone since Wii. It's definitely time for its grand return. Also, let's take some time out to reflect on the new/old DK design. It's definitely going to take some adjusting too. I don't know how to feel about it yet. It's cool, but different. Anyway, SNES Mario Circuit 4 has yet to return outside of Super Circuit. If they revamp it like they did with Bowser Castle 3 in Tour and 8 Deluxe, then I think that'd be rather interesting, because it's a classic track. There's so much they could do with it. Next is GBA Cheep Cheep Island. Just like some other tracks I've mentioned, this one's only returned once before, so I think it should return again on the Switch too. There's a lot of unrealised potential with this track, and I'd love to see what they can do with it. Finally, we have DS Delfino Square. This is a fan favourite track that's really fun, and like DK's Jungle Parkway, hasn't returned since Wii. Regardless of your opinion on Super Mario Sunshine, whether you love it or you hate it, you cannot deny that this track is really great. So come on Nintendo, bring back Delfino Square. Now it's time for the new Boomerang Cup. I think it should start with Wii U Cloud Top Cruise. I was debating between this and GBA Sky Garden, because we all know what happened to that in its previous appearances. However, I chose Cloud Top Cruise instead. Who doesn't love clouds? But if you don't love clouds, maybe you'd like snow instead. N64 Frappe Snowland is another track that I feel can be revitalised and made into something really cool. Maybe they can make the ice wall section at the end into a cave, or an underwater section, or an anti-grav section, or something like that, or whatever this new game has as its gimmick. This next track has to appear in the next game. Like above all others, we absolutely have to see this one. If we don't, I'll be very sad and very annoyed, and I'll never forgive them. If you haven't guessed, it's Tour Piranha Plant Pipeline. Why wasn't it in the Boosticles Pass with the 20 other Tour tracks? This still puzzles me to this day. Regardless, Piranha Plant Pipeline is such a good track, and I want to be able to play it whenever I want to. As of recording this, if I want to play Piranha Plant Pipeline, I have to wait 7 months, which is pretty sad. Ending off the Boomerang Cup is 3DS Bowser's Castle. This is one of the best Bowser's Castle tracks in my opinion. It's tough but rewarding, and the soundtrack is great. I love the GCN Bowser's Castle sample. Although, if we don't see this, and we get GCN, DS, Wii, or Wii U Bowser's Castle, or even GBA Bowser's Castle 4 instead, I won't be mad. Starting off the Leaf Cup, we have Wii Dry Dry Ruins. This is the only Wii track in Tour not to have returned in the Boosticles Pass, which is a bit weird, but we didn't need more Wii tracks in the Boosticles Pass anyway. I think 8's enough. This track is really fun for a desert track, so I think it's deserving of being on the Switch too. Next, I've chosen SNES Ghost Valley 3. This track is pretty underrated, but I feel that it could do so much revamping and it would be so cool. It's also never returned outside of Super Circuit, just like Mario Circuit 4, so come on Nintendo, bring it back. Now, because all 20 other tour tracks that aren't Piranha Pipeline just returned in the Booster Course Pass, any one of them is fair game. However, I've heard people say that they doubt the city tracks will return, because it'd be weird to have real-life locations amongst the other tracks. But personally, I beg to differ, as we have tracks like Coconut Mall or Sunshine Airport that take place in real-life locations in a very realistic manner, but with a Mario Kart feel. What's the difference between tricking off escalators in Coconut Mall and tricking off of fallen Athenian pillars in Athens Dash, or the Tower Bridge in London? Okay, maybe there's quite a difference, but I'm sure it won't be too jarring. And as for the lap-changing feature introduced in the Booster Course Pass, chances are there will be new Nitro tracks that use it anyway, so it won't be out of place. We kind of see this in Mario Bros. Circuit already. Anyway, enough rambling. Of course I've chosen Vancouver Velocity, bet you didn't see that coming. They can make the route 10 times better by adding Vancouver Velocity 1R to the end of the final lap, which would make this such an improvement over the Deluxe version. It also fits with the Leaf Cup symbolically, as Vancouver is in Canada, and that's the leaf is like symbol of Canada. It's literally on the flag, so it's perfect. Maybe I'm just coping, and you see what I mean when I said some of the tracks are just ones I personally want. But regardless, I am intrigued to see what they do with the cities in regards to future retro track remakes. They could just put like Ninja Hideaway or something in this game as another tour track. Who knows? We'll just have to wait to find out. Or we could get a city, but a really bad one. Imagine Tokyo. Ew. Ending off the Leaf Cup is another fan favourite. We have Airship Fortress from DS. I love this track, and I'm sad it didn't appear in the Booster Course Pass, but I actually love DS Mario Circuit more, so technically I'm happier with that being there. Regardless, Airship Fortress made its debut in DS, returned in 7 and Tour, meaning that it's never been an open console game. Imagine how great this track would look in HD on a massive TV screen. Let's hope that Nintendo breaks Airship Fortress's handheld curse. Now, finally, we have the Lightning Cup. There's one track that hasn't returned yet, that I need to see return. I had to choose between 3 Wario tracks that haven't returned, and I decided to choose GCN Wario Coliseum over N64 Wario Stadium and Wii U Mount Wario. Those other tracks are cool and all, but are they Wario Coliseum cool? Nope. Wario Coliseum is just a great track. It's so original and creative, and just look at this thing. It's begging for anti-gravity and gliding. Maybe even some underwater driving. Who knows what they'll do with it, but one thing they should keep the same is the lap count. I think 2 laps is perfect. If it was 3 sections, it'd be too short, like N64 Rainbow Road in Mario Kart 8. Speaking of Mario Kart 8, I love Super Bell Subway, so I want Wii U Super Bell Subway to return on the Switch too. Who doesn't love trains? Whatever new gimmicks the new Mario Kart game has will be interesting to use on this track, I'm sure. Imagine 24 races in the subway tunnels, dodging the trains. That would be pure chaos and I'd love it. For the penultimate track, I have chosen 3DS Macawoohoo. This is because the 3rd spot of the Lightning Cup is usually a previous game's Final Star Cup track. We've seen this with GCN DK Mountain in Wii, DS Airship Fortress in 7, and Wii Grumble Volcano in 8. However, because Mario Kart Tour likes to defy tradition with its lack of a traditional cup selection, we never saw a Lightning Cup in that game, and thus never saw this great track return, when it should have done. And, to make things worse and to rub salt in the wound, this track was found in the files of Tour, but never actually made it to release, meaning it was in fact scrapped. So I feel confident that we will see Macawoohoo in this game, especially if they were working on it for Tour, but scrapped it. And let's be real, who doesn't love Wii Sports Resort? I mean, I've never played it, but it looks cool. I do own it though. It's just in my backlog of games I need to play. Maybe I'll do it on a live stream one day, who knows? Finally, we have, of course, a Rainbow Road track, and I have chosen GBA Rainbow Road. 7 had SNES Rainbow Road as the final track, 8 had N64 Rainbow Road, and then Tour is out here doing its own thing in terms of track selection order. So the next logical step is the new game on the Switch 2 bringing back GBA Rainbow Road. It's also convenient that this would be the first time we see it return, like ever, so that's fun. Also, talk about the potential to be chaotic. Imagine little jumps on the side of the road with 24 players. That'd be way too hectic, but I live for it. Plus, imagine if they remix the music, it'd be heavenly. Which they probably do anyway. So that's why I think it's a fitting finale. So those are my rough predictions. I'm beyond hyped for this new game and the Switch 2 as well. They say, well I say, you can never have too many Nintendo consoles. I'm sure I'm going to make loads of videos on both over the year, and beyond that too, of course. As well as more videos on other things. I did promise you guys an updated Tour Nitro ranking many moons ago, so don't worry, I've not forgotten. It's not like number 1 has changed from last time regardless. Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Sooner than my recent schedule has been, hopefully. Goodbye!